One thing you should have in mind knowing about the clay work is every pot records time. When we look at a finished piece of pottery, it's easy to focus on its shape, its glaze, or its color. We admire the craftsmanship and appreciate the final result. But what we often don't realize is that every pot is also a record of time. Hidden within its walls is the story of every stage it passed through before it reached our hands. The journey begins long before the wheel starts spinning. Time is spent preparing the clay, wedging it and removing air pockets, balancing its moisture and making it ready to be shaped. It's a slow, repetitive work that rarely gets noticed, yet it forms the foundation of everything that follows. A well-prepared pot begins with a well-prepared clay. Then comes the wheel. As the wheel spins beneath the potter's hand, every second matters. Every pull leaves a trace. Every pause changes the form. If the potter hesitates, the clay remembers. If they rush, the walls reveals it. Even though the wheel may only spin for a few minutes, those moments become permanently recorded in the shape of the pot. After throwing, the waiting begins. The clay cannot be rushed. It must dry slowly and evenly before it can be trimmed. If it's trimmed too early, it's too soft, too late, and it becomes too hard. Pottery teaches that timing is just as important as technique. The maker must learn not only how to shape the clay, but also when to leave it alone. Then comes another chapter of time, the kiln. Hours of firing transforms soft clay into ceramic. The intense heat changes the material forever, and even after the kiln is switched off, more waiting time follows. Cooling too quickly can undo days of careful work, so the pot remains inside, quietly completing a transformation that cannot be hurried. When the finished piece is finally removed, it carries all those moments within it. The careful preparation, the steady hands at the wheel, the patient drying, the long firing, the quiet cooling. None of these stages are visible on the surface, yet each one has shaped the final piece. Perhaps that's why handmade pottery feels different from mass-produced objects. It doesn't simply occupy space, it carries time. Time that someone chose to invest instead of rush. Time spent learning, correcting mistakes, starting over, and trusting the process. And maybe that's why a handmade pot often feels so meaningful. It reminds us that the beautiful things are rarely created instantly. They are built one moment at a time through patience, care, and consistency. Every finished pot is a proof that time, when treated with respect, becomes part of art itself. In many ways, we are not so different. Our lives are also shaped by moments that others never see. The quiet seasons of learning, the difficult days of growth, patient work behind every achievement. Just like a pot, we are all carrying the marks of the time that transformed us. So the next time you hold a handmade piece of pottery, remember that you are holding more than clay. You are holding hours of preparation, days of waiting, years of practice, and a lifetime of experience. Because every pot records time, and perhaps that's what makes it truly priceless.